Welcome to Bobby Does Recaps. This is Silo Season 1. All right, so picture this. Nobody knows what year it is. Mankind is living in a giant underground bunker, 144 stories deep, and it has been told by the people running the show that the outside world is a toxic wasteland. The air will kill you. The dirt will kill you. Basically, everything that isn't this silo will kill you. So, you stay inside. You do your assigned job. You follow the rules. You make bunker babies. And you absolutely do not question any of it. Naturally, someone's about to question all of it. We start with Sheriff Holston Becker and his wife, Allison. Nice couple, happy life. They want a baby, and they now have the clearance to get pregnant. So they visit the silo's fertility clinic, and a doctor tells them the birth control implant has been removed. Great. Except this is their third try, and there's still no baby. A woman named Gloria tells Allie that it's a conspiracy and she was never meant to have a child, but her and Holston just think she's a conspiracy theorist. But later, Allie meets a computer tech guy named George Wilkins. He has a forbidden relic, a hard drive, just like a hard drive. On it, silo blueprints and tons of other stuff. Most importantly, there's video footage showing the outside world as lush, green, and absolutely beautiful. Absolutely nothing like the dead wasteland on every screen in the silo. Allie decides she's done being lied to and wants the truth. She acts on a hunch and cuts the implant out of her arm. At home, by herself, dirty knife, absolutely insane, but she was completely right. The implant was never removed. She'd been deliberately kept from having a child. So now she's pretty confident everything's a lie. She stands up publicly and says the 4 words that function as a death sentence in this world. I want to go out. The pact, which is this rule book of laws the silo lives by, states that if someone says those words, they must leave the silo. She gets suited up, walks outside confident, cleans the external camera sensor, but then collapses, dead. Why? We'll get back to that. Now, we fast forward 2 years. George Wilkins turns up dead. Suicide, supposedly. But Juliette Nichols, a mechanic who lives way down in the guts of the silo, insists that George was murdered. Holston digs into her claims and, with Juliette's help, finds George's secret workshop in the very bottom of the silo. Holston realizes George and Allison were working together on that hard drive prior to her asking to go out. Over the next few months, Holston puts it all together, and instead of arresting anyone or writing a report, he says the same words, I want to go out. But before he leaves, he scratches a single word into the back of his badge, truth. He also names his replacement. See, in this world, the former sheriff normally chooses the next sheriff. So who's his pick to replace him as sheriff? You guessed it, Juliette. Holston gets suited up, walks outside, and his visor shows the same beautiful green world Allison saw. He walks up to the camera, cleans it, and then, because he does believe the air is fine, he takes his helmet off. But it turns out it's not fine. The air is toxic. The world really is a wasteland. Holston crawls across the dirt to Allie's body and dies next to her. Now, just a heads up, in the show, we don't actually find out the world is toxic until the actual end finale. But it is important to know because it means this lie goes both ways. The outside really is deadly, but someone built those suits to project a fake green world so that the condemned would actually go out and willingly clean the camera. Possibly the suit was designed to comfort you on the way out, or just a way to ensure people keep cleaning the camera lens. But we'll come back to that later. Afterwards, Mayor Ruth Jahns and Deputy Sheriff Sam Marnes travel way down to the lower levels to offer Juliette the sheriff job. At first, she says no. Then she sees the badge Holston left behind. Truth scratched into the metal, and something shifts. She takes the job. On the trip back up, Ruth quietly tells Sam she has feelings for him. It's a really sweet moment, but it's short-lived because Ruth collapses on the return home, poisoned. and she doesn't make it. Sam barely has time to investigate before he's ambushed and taken out too. Within a matter of days, Juliette has lost every ally she has up top. Enter interim mayor Bernard Holland, the head of IT. Calm, reasonable, sensibly supportive. Spoiler, he's not, but we'll get there. There's a whole lot that goes on in the investigation, but we're going to hit the hot points. Juliette finds a hidden file left behind by Holston before he walked out. She tracks down a woman named Regina, a relic dealer, who gave George a travel book with pictures of the old world. Real photos, trees, blue skies, animals, things that people in the silo have never seen. And then Juliette discovers something that changes the game. Most of the mirrors in the silo have cameras in them. Enter Sims. He's this creepy, very scary enforcer that runs Judicial's shadow hit squad. He's been watching everything. And in the middle of all of this, she unearths something very personal. Her mother, Hannah, was a surgeon who secretly built a microscope to save a rabbit. It was a test to treat the same heart condition that had killed Juliette's brother. Yeah, for some reason, creating a device like that is illegal in the silo. So, Judicial raided them, destroyed it, and Hannah was left believing her husband, Dr. Pete Nichols, had told on them. Their family fell apart. Hannah died carrying that resentment, but Pete didn't tell on her. The cameras in the mirrors are how Hannah got caught. Pete was innocent the whole time. Also, around this time, she finally finds the hard drive Holston hid for her. Juliette goes to Bernard Holland, tells him everything, and asks for help. But it turns out he's the one who's been behind everything. Bernard is the big bad guy. Sims is just his enforcer. The whole silo is secretly run by Bernard and the IT department. They trap her, arrest her, take the hard drive, but on the walk up, Juliette notices her deputy, Paul Billings, fighting a hand tremor, a degenerative condition called the syndrome. She sees her chance. She breaks free, grabs her bag, and leaps off the railing. She survives, of course. After that, she does the most crazy thing possible. She hides inside Sim's apartment. She accesses the hard drive using Sim's high-security computer. First, she finds a video from George, a confession. He loved her, and before he died, he found something big at the bottom of the silo. The second thing she finds is POV footage from a previous cleaner shot from inside the suit, showing the same fake green world through the visor. Now, don't forget, we know that it's a lie, but Juliette doesn't. At this point, she thinks the world outside is like the video. With the help of some rebels, Juliette uses a power outage to run the footage on every screen in the silo, all of them. But it only displays for a few seconds. Bernard kills it as soon as he can. Most people in the silo didn't see the broadcast, but a good amount did. Juliette gets caught again, and this time Bernard makes her an offer. Walk outside quietly, no trial, no hearing, and he won't touch anyone she loves. And as a bonus, he shows her surveillance footage of George's death. And this part's kind of rough. George didn't get pushed. He jumped. He chose to die rather than give up what was on the hard drive. Juliette takes the deal. Before Julia gets sent out, her old mentor, Martha Walker, who hasn't left her apartment in 25 years, steps outside for the first time, tracks down a contact in supply, and quietly swaps out the heat tape on Juliette's suit. This is the standard tape every cleaner gets when they go outside. It's designed to break down fast. Martha gets it replaced with heavy-duty mechanical-grade tape. The good stuff. Now, it's finally time, and Juliette walks outside. Her visor floods with that beautiful fake green world. She, of course, refuses to clean the camera, walks right past it, reaches down and touches what looks like a rock, but her hand goes straight through it. It's a hologram. She watches the birds circling in the distance and realizes they're moving at the same exact loop the birds in George's video did. It's the same video on repeat. The green image flickers, glitches, goes out, and disappears to reveal what's really out there. The world is a wasteland, lifeless and toxic. But Juliette is still breathing. The heat tape is holding. She's surviving longer than any cleaner ever has. She walks up the hill, looks out across the dead earth, and freezes. It's not one silo out there. There are dozens, maybe more, identical bunkers scattered across the landscape as far as she can see, and the ruins of an old city barely visible in the distance. That's one hell of a cliffhanger, because that's where Silo Season 1 comes to an end. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to recapping another show for you very soon.